Hello, my name is Jennifer Bone, and I'm a reference librarian at the Belleville Campus Library. Today I'm going to show you how to find a peer-reviewed scientific journal article from the SWCC Library Research Databases. To go to the library, just start at swcc.edu. Hover over Student Services towards the top of the page and select Library from the drop-down list. Once you land on the library webpage, scroll down underneath the picture until you see the Library Search widget. There are 3 tabs located across the top depending on what you're looking for. You'll be looking for a research article, so stay on the front tab, and we'll be searching it in our research database called EBSCO. Go to the keyword search box and type in the topic that you'd like to look up. I'm going to type in genetics. When you land on your results page, you'll see the total number of items retrieved, mostly articles, listed at the top. With just the general search term genetics, I have 1.6 million articles available for me to read or view, which is way too many. So let me show you ways that we can narrow it down. The first thing we can do is narrow down by keyword search topics. At the very top, you can add the word and add an additional term, like dominant gene. Press enter or click on search, and we'll go down from 1.6 to 4,600 articles. That's a much smaller group and easier to filter through. As I look at the results list though, and I quickly browse the title, I can see that they're looking at genes that are not just associated with the humans, but also with rice and maybe animals out there. So I can go up to the top and add the term and human, just to focus on that particular area. Now that EBSCO's thinking, I've gotten down to a smaller group of about 1,000. Now before I start browsing any of these articles, I want to make sure that they've been published in a scholarly journal. On the left-hand side, you'll see the column says Refine Results. This is a way that you can set some limits so that you're pre-screening the articles that you view. Go down to the Limit To section, and you'll see one of the checkboxes says Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals. Now a scholarly journal is usually written by a researcher in your field, and it's supposed to be read by other researchers. I always think of them as written by a nerd in the field for other nerds to read. So they're a pretty high level of research that's performed in there. Also, when it says peer-reviewed, there's usually a group of researchers in the middle before it gets published that kind of verify that any research that was done or anything that was published or produced is impacting your field in a positive way or sharing negative objective information. So you can check the box right here, and you'll see that now that we've just gotten down to 100, you'll also see in this area that there is a timeline range. Right now it has from 1989 to 2021. You can always use the slider bar to move things right and left and kind of adjust your timeline, or you can type it directly into the box right here. Also, you'll see that some of the results that come up have articles attached, and you'll see that by the links that say HTML full text or PDF full text, and some will not have any links attached underneath at all. That means that this article exists, but you'd have to contact me if you'd like me to get that for you. It's not one click away. Some research journals just don't let their data be shared so quickly. Their articles are saved for their subscribers for a little bit, or they're just a little too expensive for this research database to make available. But I can get anything that you would like for free, so just let me know if you find something that you need. Since you can pick any article to review and write a couple pages about, you might want to just go ahead and check the box that says full text. That means you only want to see the entries that have the articles attached. Now once we do that, we're given a small grouping of 357 articles. So I can look at any of these. If I want to, I can click the article open just by clicking on the PDF full text. Now before I do that, sometimes when I'm looking at this, I wonder if what I've typed in into my keyword search box is actually the best thing to type in to do my search. One of the tricks that I use is a lot of times I click on just the link for the first article. This is the title link. You'll see the citation information is underneath. This will give me a little summary about the article, and it will also give me some search terms or subject terms that are in this EBSCO database. So it's similar to when you upload a TikTok, you put hashtags, and that kind of helps sort all the subjects of your TikTok and maybe match it up with other ones that are similar. Researchers and research databases have been doing the same thing like that as well. They call them subject terms. And so while I typed in genetics and dominant gene, it looks like this might be a better search term if I switch to dominance with genetics in parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that term. It's going to take me to a new search. And all of these articles will be hashtagged with that particular search term up here. Now, before I start looking at this results list, I want to make sure to set my limits on the left-hand side. I want to make sure that it's coming from a scholarly peer-reviewed journal. And I also want to make sure that it's full text, so I can read the article right away. When I do those limits right here, I can see all of these articles that have been retrieved. Again, I'm seeing things that are coming from plants like barley, so I can go up to the top and type in human just to add it to my search. I can click enter or click on the word search, and now my group is much smaller. I only have 36 articles, which is much easier to filter through and see which ones might work best for me. As I scroll down my list, I see number 3, estimating the mutation load in human genomes, and I might think this might work for me. I can click directly on the full text link right here, and the article pops open. I can see that it's about 11 or 12 pages long just from the top of the page in the reader. If I wanted to download it to my computer, the tool to do that is right here in this little ribbon. I can also print it out. If I wanted to save it to Google Drive, I see the Google Drive icon right here. I like using the email button just so I can have a hard copy in my email whenever I want to get access to it. If you click on email, all you have to do is type in your email address. Put in your subject. And then over on the right-hand side, you can send the citation pre-written to yourself, but I don't think for this assignment you need to have an official citation pre-written in MLA or APA. But it is possible to get that sent. You can send the article to yourself, and you should get an email confirmation that it was sent to you. If we go back to the results list, we can also just do keyword searching if we don't want to use any of those subject terms that we found behind the title. We can type in histology and bone and human. Just by using those keywords, you'll see that we've narrowed it down by saying we want an article that deals with histology, we want the word bone in there, and we want the word human in there. We have a smaller grouping of 1,000. You'll see that on the left-hand side, you always want to make sure that your limits are set to full text and scholarly peer-reviewed. As we scroll down the list, please remember that this isn't always like Google, that the best article might not be number 1. They're in the order of relevance, and you'll see that sort feature at the top of the page. You can change it and put the oldest article first or the newest article first, but what they're trying to do is give you the one that has your words that you've typed in mentioned the most throughout the full text and the title. But it doesn't mean it's the best one for you. So you might have to scroll down through the whole entire front page and maybe page number 2 and maybe page number 3. As people who use the internet a lot, if the first 2 links don't work, a lot of times you change your search terms, but it's not always the best way. As I go down here, I say, oh, number 12, micro damage detection and repair in bone, fracture mechanics and histology, cell biology. This might be a great article. So to read it, you just click on the PDF full text. And here is your article. Remember to take it with you. You can use the tools across the top or along the right-hand side. So it's quick, it's easy. Anything that you've seen in your textbook or that you've discussed in class, you can always just type in at the top Another trick that I might want to show you before you kind of go do some searching is if you are wanting to look up maybe NRA. So that's the mRNA is very popular out there with the COVID virus. When you're searching it, remember how I told you you could just click on the title and see right behind and see what those search terms are. There's also a place on the left. Underneath where we set our limits, there are rectangles called subject thesaurus term and subject. Once you open those rectangles, you'll see that sometimes those popular hashtags that are located behind the title are located right here as well. They show you the most popular 6, but then you can look at more by clicking on show more. Now I typed in mRNA, but they have it spelled out, messenger RNA. So this might be a better term for me to use, and I can click directly on it right there. Once I do that, you'll see that all of these articles are ones that are labeled with the messenger RNA, and I can see that limit set right here. If I want to go back to my previous group, I can just check that little X and it will remove that little messenger RNA label from my search. So those are just some tips and tricks to help you do some of your research. If you need help, please come to the library. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm Jennifer Bone. I'm one of the full-time reference librarians. And there's another one located over here, and her name is Samantha Rogers. Now, if you're not comfortable coming to the library or your schedule just doesn't allow it, please know that on the front page of the library, there is a Contact Us link located at the very bottom left corner of the picture. When you click there, you'll see that our email addresses are listed. You're welcome to email and our phone numbers. So however you want to contact us, we're happy to help you with this assignment. Hope to hear from you soon and happy researching.